Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Logic Medico. Today's interesting topic is swan neck deformity. So what is this swan neck deformity? It is a deformity of the finger which resembles the neck of a swan, therefore called swan neck deformity. So let's understand this swan neck deformity. Starting with this is the finger. Finger contains three phalanx. The last one is distal phalanx, the more away from the body. Distal is the middle phalanx, this is the proximal phalanx. So there are three phalanx in the finger, and of course in the hand we have the metacarpal. So the first joint in the finger, this one, is the metacarpophalangeal joint, which causes flexion and extension. Also abduction adduction possible in this joint. This joint between the proximal phalanx and middle phalanx is the proximal interphalangeal joint, which causes, it's a hinge type of synovial joint. Only flexion and extension is possible. Flexion caused by flexor digitorum profundus and superficialis, extension caused by extensor digitorum. The next, between the middle phalanx and distal phalanx, there is a distal interphalangeal joint. Again, this is a hinge joint, only two movements, flexion, extension. Flexion caused by flexor digitorum profundus and extension caused by extensor digitorum. So these are the joints and the movements and the muscles causing them. So let's see the same thing here in a simplified version. This is a metacarpal, proximal phalanx, middle and distal phalanx. Between metacarpal and the proximal phalanx, metacarpophalangeal joint. Proximal and middle phalanx, proximal interphalangeal joint. Between middle and distal phalanx, distal interphalangeal joint. So what happens exactly in swan neck deformity? The capsule present on the anterior aspect or the ventral aspect of proximal interphalangeal joint will be weakened, or it will tear, either due to inflammation, trauma. More often than not, it is due to rheumatoid arthritis. When it tears, what happens? The capsule is weak here. The extensor tendons are going to pull this middle phalanx. So this middle phalanx is pulled backwards here. When it's pulled backward, there is an hyperextension of proximal interphalangeal joint over here. This causes the tendons of the extensor tendons to be more stretched. Then what happens subsequently? There will be tendons available here. Now these are the flexor tendon, flexor digitorum profundus over here. That will pull the distal phalanx forward, causing hyperflexion of the distal interphalangeal joint. So I repeat, the basic cause is weakening or tearing of the capsular ligament of proximal interphalangeal joint. The extensor tendons will pull this middle phalanx backward, resulting in hyperextension of the proximal interphalangeal joint. This causes the extensor tendon to be stretched because it is pulled this backward, right? It's stretched. And the flexor tendon, the flexor digitorum profundus, will act unopposedly, and it will now pull the distal phalanx forward. So there is hyperflexion of the distal interphalangeal joint. But actually the problem is there in the proximal interphalangeal joint, which has to be addressed. This deformity of the finger as such resembles a long neck of a swan, therefore called swan neck deformity. So this swan neck deformity is a characteristic sign of rheumatoid arthritis. It has to be addressed early, otherwise permanent deformity of the fingers will be there. There is physiotherapy and splinting, means one finger which has become like a swan neck has to be splinted or joined with other fingers, and the strap is placed around it. It's also called strapping, so that permanent deformity is prevented. If deformity is already occurred, then the treatment is surgical treatment. Okay, surgically we have to straighten the finger, we have to strengthen the capsules, we have to do grafting of the tendon. Thank you for watching and learning from Logic Medico. Kindly Press the thumbs up icon if you gain the knowledge from this video. Press the thumbs up icon. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you are visiting for the first time. Press the bell icon and control for all the notifications. Thank you once again for learning from Logic Medico. This is about swan neck deformity. Thank you.